So the forecast for Spider-Man Far From Home is certainly up above what many people were expecting was going to be, but will it hold, and how will it compare to other films? Let's jump right into this. So we are talking about the long-range forecast. We're not going to know the official expectations till like the week before the film is out, right? And of course there's a lot of other things to consider. But as of right now, just going forward and looking into it, things are looking rather good for Spider-Man, as it's currently tracking for a domestic opening of $120 million. Now, this is certainly up from Homecoming, but what people have to consider here is there is an extended weekend, right? It's the 4th of July, and the film is coming out on the 2nd. It's coming out on a Tuesday. So there's quite a few days there that aren't just a 3-day weekend, right? So it's going to be weird how they spin this and how the news comes out. And even what the long-range forecast is saying about this, considering what the short-range one is going to say. Because these numbers are going to come in at such a weird time for a new film release. At the same time, you have to consider that $120 million opening in the US is important, and it's huge. It's certainly big, and I think they're going to be happy with it. But at the same time, China is going to be a giant part of this, which I talked about in another video, and China, I think, could be the big make it or break it part here. And that's the one I think we have to kind of balance out before this happens, to kind of know if this film is going to end up pacing ahead of Homecoming, which I think it will, or if it's going to come around in that same ballpark. But either way, 120 million opening, even if it's 5-day or 6-day or whatever they want to account it for, that's still really solid, and it's certainly going to help Spider-Man, be the big entry going into July and keeping momentum going for Hollywood this year, considering it's having one of its best years ever, largely thanks to Marvel Studios. So it looks like Sony will be able to help that. Now, whether Sony's internally happy with this or not, it's going to depend on two things. One, domestic opening. Two, China's opening. So hand in hand, we have to look at those after the first weekend.